Hey, Sussex gang. Today, I'm not asking you to choose sides. I'm asking you to choose your conscience. Because every once in a while, something is said that forces us to stop talking about Harry, stop talking about Meghan, stop talking about the monarchy, and start talking about ourselves. What kind of people are we becoming? What kind of media are we rewarding? And perhaps the hardest question of all. You know, I've been covering the Sussex story for a long time now. We've seen the headlines, we've seen the documentaries, we've seen the lawsuits, we've seen the interviews, we've seen commentators disagree with Harry, we've seen others criticise Meghan. Whether you agree or disagree with them is your right. Public figures will always face public scrutiny. That's part of the deal. But today, I believe we've crossed into territory that should make every decent person uncomfortable. Not because someone criticised Harry, not because someone questioned Meghan, but because the conversation drifted somewhere it never should have gone. To two children who haven't spoken publicly, who haven't written books, who haven't given interviews, who haven't defended themselves, who simply happen to have famous parents. And somehow, that was enough. That should trouble every single one of us, because today it is Archie and Lilibet. Tomorrow, whose children will it be? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to watch something. Not because I want to tell you what to think, but because I want you to hear the words for yourself. Listen carefully. Pay attention not only to what is said, but also to what isn't. Listen to the assumptions. Listen to the certainty. Listen to how easily children become part of an adult narrative. We'll come back together afterward, because I have a lot to say.
In my opinion, there's a particular type of royal reporter that is so disgusting and so virulent and hate-filled and looking to make a name for themselves that they don't care what they do or who they attack. And this disgusting person, teeth and glasses, has decided that they would attack the Sussex children. And apart from the fact that that is disgusting in itself, you have to wonder at the type of person that will attack children they don't know, children they will never meet, children whose station in life would always be better than theirs. And you need to wonder why those particular children and is being, I want to frame this precisely, is being part black so disgusting, such a crime that you have to drag those little children into your, I don't know what's going on up there with him. I don't know what's in his head. And I don't know why he says these things. Well, I kind of partly do because of attention. But you got to wonder the type of person who actually does that. But then again, when you look at this person's forebears, you then realize that sometimes the hate is epigenetic. It's literally this person maybe not even conscious enough to understand why they are that hate-filled and disgusting as a person. So anyway, this person I will call Teeth and Glasses because I will not mention his name. I will not give him the oxygen of publicity that he really, really craves. He made a core argument that Harry is tearing up his agreement with the late Queen Elizabeth by meeting his grandfather on royal property. And I'm like, are you well? Prince Philip died in April 2021. So Harry's meeting this month was actually with his father, King Charles, not his grandfather, number one. And that is not a minor slip. It's a kind of error that suggests to me that nobody involved in producing this particular segment of the podcast reviewed it. Because it tells you if they can't even do a basic fact check, So that's number one. And then, as many people pointed out, Highgrove, where Harry met his father, the King Charles, is actually Charles's own private residence. It is not Buckingham Palace or Crown property in the way that this particular framing is implying. And so for this idiot to say that Harry is actually trespassing on royal property when he was invited along with his wife and children to meet the king, yeah, like I said, I don't know how they think. And I'm so glad in a way that I'm doing these videos, because I hear these things and I go, is this really what passes for journalism in 2026 in the UK?
Welcome back. Now, take a second. Forget Harry, forget Meghan, forget William, forget the palace, forget Team Sussex, forget Team Royal. Ask yourself one question. That's the question I couldn't stop asking myself after watching that clip. Because what bothered me wasn't simply the criticism. Criticism is normal. Criticism is healthy. Criticism comes with public life. What bothered me was something much deeper. It was the confidence with which adults began writing stories about children they have never met. Think about that. Not describing something that happened, not responding to an action, not reporting an event, creating an entire future for children who are still growing up. And I think that's where we need to pause. Because journalism reports reality. Commentary interprets reality, but speculation about children's future character, that's something else entirely. And once we normalize that, we've crossed a line that becomes harder and harder to redraw. Now, the transcript we're discussing argues that the comments about Archie and Lilibet were accompanied by factual disputes regarding Harry's meeting with King Charles and the interpretation of the Sandringham Agreement, before ultimately concluding that children should never be pulled into adult conflicts. But here's what struck me the most, Sussex gang. This isn't really about one commentator. It's about an industry. An industry where the loudest opinion often earns the biggest audience, where certainty sells better than nuance, where outrage travels faster than facts, and where every week someone feels compelled to say something just a little more shocking than the week before. That's the treadmill, and unless someone steps off it, it never stops.